Happy Hump Day, everybody. This is your girl, Crystal Jordan, with Reality Check here on a Wednesday early evening. It's 6 o'clock. Hopefully, you guys are where you need to go. Hopefully, you're home and you've had an amazing day. We are getting ready to have a conversation with actor Stephen Bishop about his new movie that comes out this weekend on TV One titled Coins for Love. Now, I'm sure you've seen him. He's played the handsome lead. He actually was in the Netflix film that just came out with Nia Long. So we'll get a chance to ask him about all of that, all these romantic leads he's been playing lately, and of course, how he's been holding it down during this time of pandemic. So please help me welcome actor Stephen Bishop. Get him in here. Hey.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm doing really well. How are you?
Thanks
for having me.
It looks very sunny where you are.
Yeah, Southern California, as they say, it never rains.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it looks absolutely beautiful. Has it been hard to socially distance for you recently, or do you have kind of everything you need right around you?
Well, it's funny. When we started this, I realized that my normal life is pretty much social distancing. I don't go out that much, so it hasn't been that difficult for me. I have, everything I need really at home, and the one thing I do get out to do is play golf, and that hasn't been affected too badly during the quarantine and the lockdown and all that. So other than not being able to go to the gym, it's been pretty much the same as it always is for me.
Well, I guess that's lucky you.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe lucky or unfortunately for me. I'm not really sure.
Well, one thing you have been doing is promoting films because, like I said, we're talking today about Coins for Love, which premieres this weekend. And then we also just saw you had a big Netflix premiere with Fatal Affair with Nia Long and Omar Epps. Can you tell us really quickly about that project and what the feedback has been so far?
Well, actually, that project comes out tomorrow.
Oh,
so
okay.
we've been promoting it, and the feedback that we've gotten from the press and film critics, like stuff like that, has been very positive. So hopefully the viewers like it as well. But yeah, that comes out tomorrow. I know it's kind of confusing because I've been promoting both of these films at the same time. They come out 3 days apart, which is a blessing to be able to have. I shot Fatal Affair, this Coins for Love, and Run the World, the pilot for Run the World, which is for Stars, all in the matter of like 3 months, November, December, and January. So, and we shot Coins for Love. Literally, I got home 2 weeks before the lockdown.
Wow. So that's enough. So you are able to sit back and watch the fruit of all your labor during this time. Like all your projects are coming out while everyone's sitting down, which is good because
it's great. It's great. I like I said, I'm very fortunate to have been able to get some good work in before all this happened. It's unfortunate that I'm not able to shoot Run the World, the series. I'm supposed to be in New York shooting now.
Okay.
But we got the pilot done. It got picked up. So, when we get out of this whole thing, we'll get back to work.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's talk about Coins for Love. We know this is it's a prequel. Or actually, it's a sequel to Coins for Christmas. And your character is playing opposite the beautiful Essence Atkins. We love her here at Rolling Out. She was our cover girl. And actually a keynote speaker for our women's luncheon last year. She's just a great woman and just very passionate about the things that she believes in. What was the experience like? I know you guys have worked together before, but what was the experience working on this movie? Because Coins for Love, you actually are working with her former love interest on another movie, another show that she was in. She and Kendrick Cross were husband and wife.
Yeah.
So now you are the love interest, and he's trying to break things. He's trying to throw a little drama in the mix, right?
Yeah. Essence is fantastic. This is the third project I've done with her. We actually first worked together on Girlfriend's Getaway 2, but we weren't actually opposite each other in that production. But yeah, she's amazing. She's, you know, a great friend. She's a, you know, a wonderful woman, and I can't say enough positive things about her. So it was fantastic getting back together with her and working on this again, and, you know, hopefully we can do it again. As far as Kendrick is concerned, it's funny. I actually was up for the part of Titus in
Oh
Ambition.
wow, and Ambitions, wow.
Yeah, and you know, so that would have been interesting, you know, working with Essence on that and on Coins and everything.
Yeah.
But you know, everything works out, you know, for, you know, the way it's supposed to. And Kendrick and I had some fun times working together on this one. You know, it's funny when you see this, you're going to be like, man, those two guys could have a show just with these characters, because the way we go at it and the way they had us, right, you know, the way they wrote it up for us is fantastic. I think you guys are going to really enjoy this.
Yeah. Well, we're looking forward to it. I wanted to say the thing about you, because we've seen you in several other things. One of my favorite roles that you played was in Imposters. That's a really interesting show and very different. I really enjoyed your character in that. But what you play a really good guy, but you also play a really good bad guy. So which one do you prefer, and which one is more fun for you to play? Because you play this romantically quite a bit, but then we've also seen you kind of be, you know, a bad guy at times. Do you prefer one side or the other?
You know, I really enjoyed making Till Death Do Us Part, which is the one where most people see me as the really bad guy.
Yes.
You know, I obviously I love what I'm doing. I love my career, and I love, you know, the fact that people see enough in me to make me a leading man. So I don't want to say that I don't like that, but the villain is always a little bit more. It's meatier. You can do more with it. You can stretch a little bit. You can spread your wings, and you can, you know, especially like with Till Death Do Us Part, I was able to go places that I am not able to go as the good guy.
Yeah.
So I think it was more interesting to play that part than it has been to play most of the parts. Although Patrick in Imposters was a little bit of both. You know,
I couldn't figure him out for a while, because I wanted to like him, but then I was like, ew, you know, that was
something wrong.
It was, you know,
but I was excited to play the bad guy until Death Do Us Part. I really, when I got it, I thought it was a great opportunity for me to show viewers something that they had never seen from me, and give them another perspective on me as a person, and you know, what I bring to the table as an actor.
Yeah.
So I like both. You know, whatever is quality to me, I'll be excited to do.
Well, you did a great job, because you did it, and I did not like you in that, but then I also, you know, it didn't stick with me. So when you did the next role, so it's not very many actors I think can do both equally well. So from us, that's an interesting fact so far in the roles that you played. Now in this role, your character, you're a sportscaster, correct? In Coins for Love.
Yeah. He's a former NFL player who's transitioning, and he's just now gotten this job as a broadcaster. He's kind of like a sports talk show host,
right?
So we get to see him kind of navigate the etiquette between being on the field and being in a studio and having to deal with other personalities and producers and things like that. So he's a sportscaster in this one, but still same old Alec in a lot of ways.
Now, I wanted to ask you, how was that transition for you? Because a lot of people don't know that you actually played baseball professionally. Actually played for the Atlanta Braves, here where we are, for a while. How has the transition been from athlete to actor? And have you ever thought about, because a lot of athletes we know do go on to do broadcasting and, you know, doing a lot of sportscasting, talking about especially the sport they played. Was that something you considered, or was acting always something that you wanted to do?
Well, you know, my father was a sportscaster. Actually, he was a news a sports anchor on the CBS affiliate in Milwaukee when I was a little kid.
Nice.
So that was something that I always thought about. But, you know, when I was in college, I took a drama course, and my professor, you know, he pulled me aside after the semester was over, and he said, you know, you're pretty good at this, man. You might want to consider doing this for a living. And I was like, man, I'm going to be a pro baseball player, bro. I don't need all that.
Yeah.
And he was, well, you never know, you know, keep it in your back pocket. You never know what could happen. And in that moment, I realized that it was something that I wanted to do, because I always enjoyed performing. I always enjoyed, you know, trying to mimic scenes that I had seen on movies and stuff like that. So it was like, man, maybe he's right. I will give this a try.
Yeah.
I have friends. I'm really good friends with Stan Verrett, who is a sports anchor on ESPN Sports Center. And I'm friends with Jamel Hill and Michael Smith, formerly of ESPN as well. And I got a chance to co-host His and Hers, which was Michael and Jamel's show. When Michael was on vacation, I got to co-host it with Jamel.
Okay.
And it really did give me the bug of wanting to do some broadcasting, some sports broadcasting. And I still would love to do that. You know, maybe a contributor, you know, where I call in once a week to a radio show or, you know, something like that. I mean, but my career, you know, being what it is, I'm very happy. I'm very grateful for what I'm doing. So, you know, I don't want to try to do too much. I want to just, you know, be able to stay in my lane, you know?
Yeah. Do you miss baseball? Do you miss playing baseball at all?
You know, I don't anymore. Every once in a while, I'll get the itch to get out there and play again. And it was really bad when I was coaching. I was coaching Little League for the last 5 years. And, you know, being out there with the kids and playing catch and taking ground balls with the kids.
Yeah.
You know, it got my competitive juices flowing again, and it made me want to play. But, you know, a long time ago, I gave it up for golf. And, you know, I just, you know, I've been asked several times by my old teammates to come out of retirement and come play, and it's just like, nah, guys, I'm gonna stay retired. And so yeah, I get the itch every once in a while.
Yeah, it looks like you got your hands full with this acting thing right now. So it looks like you did really well. So this Coins for Love talks about a couple that's trying to get together, and their exes are attempting to kind of throw a wrench in there. This show is called Reality Checks. We talk a lot about relationships. So my question to you is, how do you think a couple should handle when you, on each side, if you have exes that you haven't quite healed, you know, closed the door all the way with? If there's somebody that you don't want to be with, but when you see them, you may still have a little bit of a feeling for them, or, you know, a spark might arise. What is your advice on how to keep everything in line so that nobody gets hurt, and what happens in this film does not happen?
I say avoid them at all costs. You know what I mean? If you know that you still have any kind of feeling, or even if you don't, you know, you don't want to be lured back into a situation that you've left already while you're in a new one. You know, I would say, you know, the best course of action is just to avoid it. Don't answer calls, don't engage, don't, you know, entertain when you have friends, mutual friends come to you and say, hey, so-and-so was asking about you or whatever. Just, you know that it was a chapter in your life that closed for a reason, and, you know, do the best you can to avoid any exposure to it.
No Facebook friend requests or nothing like that. Just
no. Do your best to leave them alone too. You know, don't be looking at their page trying to see what they're up to and all, because I know a lot of exes do that kind of stuff, and it's just, you know, it's best to just go cold turkey and leave it alone all the way.
Yeah. All right, I got to ask you one more relationship question. So the other film that you're in, A Fatal Affair, obviously it's an affair that goes very wrong. And the lead character, Nia Long, is not able to get out of it as quickly as she would have probably liked to. Do you think that there are rules to having an affair if you're going to have one?
Don't have one.
I had to ask, especially with everything going on right now. Do you think that there are rules, or do you think it's just there's no good way to do it?
Don't have one. if you're gonna have one, figure out a way to get out of what you're already in.
Yeah.
I guess if you really want me to try to think about it and answer a question that really, there's only really one answer to it, which is don't have one. But if just to suspend disbelief for the purposes of the interview,
right.
I would say that the one thing, the number one rule is to not develop emotions
right
for the person that you're, in that entanglement with.
Right.
If it is what it is, which is, an escape for a lot of people, then you're only doing yourself and your real thing a disservice by allowing yourself to become emotionally involved.
Yeah.
So, like I said, the best way is just to avoid it. Don't get yourself caught up in a situation like that.
Right.
Because then you're going to have to lie, and then you're going to have to lie to cover the lies and all that kind of stuff. It's just best to just, if you really need to go somewhere, you need to stop what you're doing currently before you step into the next pair of shoes.
Yeah, that's the best advice. Cut things off so that way you're not going to hurt either side, because otherwise it can get very messy. As we see in the movie that you have coming out with Nia Long, and just the rest of the headlines going on right now. Things can get ugly.
Things can go left very quickly.
Very, very quickly, very quickly. Well, before we get out of here, is there anything that you think people, if you were telling people why to tune in to TV One this weekend? We know people are going to be home, hopefully trying to stay in as much as possible with all the spike numbers going on. What can you give people to just give them a little taste of the film that they may not expect in the storyline with you and Essence and Kendrick?
Well, I think you guys are really going to like this one. If you like Coins for Christmas, this is a continuation of that. Alec is a little bit more humble. He is a little bit more well-rounded than he was before, and he's starting to realize that he's got some real feelings for Madison, and he's got like we talked about, an ex that is still kind of lingering, that he hasn't completely detached from, and so you'll get to see how that plays out. But I think it's a fun movie. I think Essence does a fantastic job as always. I had a lot of fun working with Kendrick. He's a good dude, and Karan Riley does a great job. JJ is back. He does a great job. TC Carson is my right-hand man, Hank, in the film. So if you like Coins for Christmas, come on back for this one. I think you're going to love it.
That's good. And you know what? I do want to ask you one more question about that, because the film really deals with adults that have, children and lives from the past. It's adult dating and adult romance and all that. Do you have any tips for people? One of the I guess the key schemes in that is how to manage dating with children and relationships. Any advice for people that may be trying to figure out how to manage single mothers, like Essence's role in the movie, that has children, is trying to make good decisions, but yet, still enjoy being a woman and, and being able to fall in love, but still being a responsible parent?
I guess my advice would be, make some time for yourself. Always try to make sure that you don't lose yourself in your life.
Yeah.
And you do have some individuality still, and just make sure that you shelter your children from your dating life. Send them with their father or their mother, and feel free to let yourself be yourself without always checking your watch or checking your phone. I think a lot of times when we are single parents, we get into trouble by bringing new people who aren't solidified in our lives around our children, and a lot of people take offense to that. And that's very understandable. You don't want somebody bringing Tom, Dick, Harry, Joe, and John around when they're not going to be there. What I mean? Now all of a sudden you've got your son or your daughter being influenced or even spoken to by these people when they don't have any reason to be around them. So
Right.
my best advice is make some time for yourself and really make sure that you clear your area for yourself. Don't have the kids around. Send them to grandma or to mom or dad or whoever the other parent is.
Right.
And let yourself be single in that moment.
Good. Very good advice. All right. Well, remind people how they can, when to tune in for A Fatal Affair and then also Coins for Love. We'll make sure that we get both covered and make sure we make this a Stephen Bishop entire weekend. Get it all.
I appreciate that. Fatal Affair comes out tomorrow, Thursday, July 16th on Netflix. That's Nia Long and Omar Epps, myself, Aubrey Cleland, who does a fantastic job as my and Nia's daughter. And then the 19th, which is Sunday, Coins for Love, starring Essence Atkins, myself, Karan Riley, T.C. Carson, Lisa Wilson, who does a fantastic job as Alex, ex-fiance. And I will be tweeting live on both of these things. So at Stephen C. Bishop is my Twitter, Stephen with a PH, and at Stephen C. Bishop is my Instagram. So enjoy what we've got coming for you. Have a great weekend, and let me know what you think. Hit me up on Twitter, hit me up on Instagram, and if you know me at all, I'm going to answer you back. So keep it classy.
I love that. Well, thank you so much, you guys. Please tune in. I think it's always great when fans get a chance to live tweet with the actor during the actual film. So that should be lots of fun. Good luck to you, Stephen Bishop. Thank you so much for hanging out with us on Reality Check and answering some kind of hard questions about relationships. But you came through like a champ, of course.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate you. And hopefully we get a chance to do it again real soon.
Absolutely. Take care. Be safe.
All right. You too. Peace.
Bye-bye. All right, you guys. So that was Reality Check on a Wednesday night. Make sure that you tune in tomorrow on Netflix for A Fatal Affair. Stephen's in the middle of Nia Long and Omar Epps, and we know they have history from way back. So make sure you check that out on Netflix. And then, of course, TV One on Sunday, Coins for Love with our girl Essence Atkins, Stephen Bishop, T.C. Carson, Karan Riley, and so many more. We definitely want to make sure we're supporting all that. You guys stay safe, and I will see you Friday. This is Christal Jordan with Reality Check, and I'm out.